Hi guys, I'm Andy. Welcome back to Backpacking UK, the YouTube channel that's all about hiking, backpacking and wild camping. Right, excited today because I get to share with you this fantastic TFS Tents Enran 1 4-season tent. Now, it's £325 including a footprint. It weighs just 952 grams. Pack size is 42 centimeters by 16 centimeters. But if you take the poles out, it's a highly compressible fabric. So if you put it into a dry bag, you can make this tent absolutely tiny. So TFS Tents, the free spirits, does sound a little bit random. I was unsure about a new brand. However, I had the TFS Tents Stars 2 Pro. I was really impressed, especially with the design and the quality. They really are that good. Now, this specific tent, you'll see some content creators out there reviewing and testing a two-person version. I've got to say, I was really impressed. Now I've used this one-person version, I can see why. It's got some cracking features, but there's one particular part about this tent I absolutely love, and I can't wait to show you that today. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to show you what you get inside this TFS Tents bag. Then we're going to get it pitched. I'll show you inside, outside, and my final summary at the end. So this is what you get inside the TFS Tents Enran 1 tent bag. So the inner and outer pitched together as one. You've got this 8.7 millimeter DAC Featherlight NFL tent pole. So you've got a super high quality tent pole with a repair sleeve as well. That's included in the weight too. It's like a DAC branded bag, and then you've also got a mixture of DAC pegs. So you've got 2 of these, and then you've got 4 of these TFS Tents carbon pegs. Now, first thing I must say, they should have given you more pegs. So you need at least another 2 pegs really. It wouldn't have hurt to give you another couple on top of that as well, but it also comes with some additional guy line too. So let's get this tent pitched. So the first thing I'm going to do, just going to set up the tent pole in advance, which is what I always do. These DAC poles, for me, they're just the best, highest quality. So there's no wind in the air today. So what I'm going to do, I'm actually just going to lay it down on the ground and get the tent pole inserted straight away. So quite simply, just going to feed the tent pole through the Dyneema sleeve. You don't have to worry about it poking through the fabric. It's really nice and strong. And then you've got 2 little clips. These DAC clips are really high quality as well. It's such a nicely finished tent. Then just feed it through, just pop it into the other side, and then we're ready to start pegging it out. So I'm just going to use the little carbon stakes to just peg the corners out here, and then we can start just popping this tent up. So this is how I pitch this tent. Now I've got to insert the trekking poles, and then you wait to see how taut this tent becomes. So to use the trekking poles, you quite simply use a metal fixing here. Put the bottom end of your trekking pole through. Then you've got a loop at the bottom which just loops around your trekking pole grip. Now this goes back slightly, so just extend your trekking pole until it's taut. Grab hold of the guy line and just guy it into the ground. Now we're ready just to do the final touches, get all the corners and the guy lines nice and taut, and then we'll have a lovely looking backpacking tent. So let's have a look around the TFS Tents Enran 1. Now straight away you can see how taut this pitches, and it pitches like this every single time. So on the corners, got these dynamo reinforcements. You've got ventilation at the bottom, which I'll show you in a second. You've got additional guy line points there. This is how the trekking pole connects at the top. You've got a zip down the side for ventilation. You've got an additional guy point here. It's just a really nice taut tent. You've got guy lines on the sides, which I just don't need today, but it's a lovely looking one person backpacking tent. It's a really clever design. So the TFS Tents Enran 1 has really good ventilation on the ends. So you've got a zipper which is accessible from the inside and out. You can just open it up and tie it back like a normal door, and then you've got these zips on the inside which you can just zip down. It's got see-through mesh anyway, but you can zip them right down to allow lots of airflow through. So on a day like today where it's really hot, you can get loads of air through. You can also pull back this side as well because it's connected from both corners and the top. So this doesn't actually support anything. So you can open the whole ends of the tents, let all that air through. So let's have a look inside this TFS tent. Now it uses a very thin 7D ripstop nylon fabric with a hydrostatic head rating of 2000 millimeters. It's very thin. You just need to be a little bit careful with the thin materials on this tent. You just need to look after it. So you've got a fully waterproof zip which just zips up to the top. Now it's got a little toggle, and this can be a little bit of a pain. You just need to bend down, find a loop and just toggle that loop to open up the side of the tent. Now it uses a 10D floor, which again is really quite thin, and a 10D inner solid fabric and a 10D mesh as well. So it is made of quite thin materials, this backpacking tent. So here you've got a two-way zip. It's even got nice zip pullers, this tent. It's all these little sort of fine details is what I love about this tent. All the little clips, the way the tent pole pops in, the dynamo reinforcement bits. It just shines of quality throughout. So let's take a look inside. So you got reasonable vestibule area there. Then you can see with the one end opened up how the ventilation works. You've got a pocket on one side. This is the other end closed. It's fully accessible though. And then you've got all this solid fabric, but at the top you've got this see-through mesh, which really helps with ventilation and condensation. But you've also got a little bit of space at the end of the tents as well. So inside the TFS Tents Enran 1, you've got a length of 220 centimetres, a width of 95 centimetres, which is really important because a lot of its competitors do not have an inner that wide. And then you've got a 93 centimetre head height, which is fairly standard for this sort of tent. Think of it as the exact same as the Hilleberg Enran. But what I love about the Enran 1 is the width. You can have a really long, wide sleeping pad in here, still have a bit of space at the end, definitely have space to the side of you, either at the back or at the front for your belongings. I love this additional bit of mesh right at the top. Really does help with condensation, as does the little bit of mesh at the side. So I just want to show you how taut this tent is, even with the door open and with both short sides open as well, because this is where a lot of tents start failing, when you open vents, open doors. But this remains really taut, and this is not on level ground either. It's just a really well thought out tent, there's no doubt about it. And the trekking poles, to me, make all the difference. Now, yes, you know, you could argue if you're not a trekking pole user, it's added weight to the tent, which I can't disagree with. But certainly if you use trekking poles, it really is a great addition. Now, is it a 4-season tent? Now, I think we're all fully aware now that if you get a 4-season tent from China, they're mainly associating that 4-season with a solid inner. However, I still think this could be a 3+ season tent. It's got guying points in all the right places, at the ends as well. It's really nice and taut. It's a strong tent. It's got really nice stack pole that's fed all through the sleeve. The sleeve really does protect it and reinforce it as well. It's just the sort of thin materials that might let it down just that little bit. But one thing I must say, which this tent has a massive advantage over other single pole tents, and that is the use of trekking poles. It makes it so much stronger, so much tauter. It kind of makes it an unfair playing field, really, but that is how clever the design is. They've utilised the trekking poles to the absolute best of their ability. So what do I think about TFS Tents Enran 1? Well, the quality is definitely there. I think value for money, you're talking about a sub 1 kilo, 1-person backpacking tent with interior space like this, for £324 including footprint. I think that's really good. And I tell you what, the more people see these tents, just go over it and feel the fabric. It's honestly, and the little fixings, everything is so nice on this tent. Other positives, I love the inner width space. The ventilation works really well. This is actually a really well thought out tent. It's got good length, reasonable vestibule as well. The only thing, for me, the biggest thing is the height of 93 centimetres is okay. I'm 5'8", 172 centimetres. It would have been nice if that was a little bit bigger, but I must say, if you buy the 2-person version of this, you've got an internal head height of 100 centimetres, which is a bit of a game changer. It's the difference between like feeling like you're really close to the inner of the tent to having that a little bit more space. 2-person version, I think, weighs about 100 grams extra. So if you're a bigger person, I think the 2-person version might be the way to go. The other thing is, like all these lightweight tents, it comes at a price, and that's thin materials. Now, you just got to be a little bit more careful where you pitch the tent, what ground surface you're putting it on. Also, even packing it away, you know, don't ram your poles in that tent bag. Don't ram your tent pegs in that tent bag either. Just look after it, and it will look after you. But It's my second TFS tents, and I'm just so impressed, sort of mainly with the designs, well thought out, and the quality as well. But anyway, hope you like this review. If you've got any questions, put them in the comments section. I'll put links in the description to buy if you like, but £324 for a tent like this really is good value for money, without question. But hope to see you backpacking soon. Cheers.